World 7 Series, first leg is done in Dubai. Aussie women win. Blitzboks or South African men win. Rugby Australia introducing a new tackle height law that will commence or start next year, 2024. And Beauden Barrett signs on with the All Blacks until 2027, a 4-year deal. Let's get into it. By leg of the World 7 Series is done and dusted. Some absolute pearls of a game on show. Players just with skill level coming out their backsides. Like unreal talent, both women's and men's. I was more impressed, honestly, with the women's skill level. Like I feel like the overall skill level of women in the sevens, especially on the sevens, in the sevens calendar, the improvement there has been just drastic. Tremendous improvement. Like if there had to be a graph of improvement, like the trajectory, I'm not really good with graphs, but if there was one, like it would have started and now it's almost gone up, back like that. It's skyrocketed so much. Like there's always Aussie and New Zealand sevens, the women's sevens, that was really, really good. Like they were kind of on par. But France sevens, USA women's, Canada women's, like just across the board, unreal. I think the biggest two things that I picked up on was with the skill level now was the catch and pass. It might sound basic. It's one of the most important parts of playing rugby really well. It's catch and pass. And in sevens, it's one of your most, like, one of the check boxes that you want checked as a coach looking for players. Can they catch and pass? Can they run fast, catch and pass kind of in one movement? Not one movement. It's a little bit more than just one movement. But doing that without having to adjust the ball, stop, and then pass. Girls are now running at full pace, catching and just giving. And it shows. It's really, really, really good to see. The other bit that I was really impressed with was the intensity around ruck time and tackles. Man, girls are flying in there. The technique really good as well. Girls on just flying in from all over, really getting low body positions in ruck time and tackle time. And I know in rucks, because there's only 7 of you on the field, that they only try and send one person into a ruck. That person has to be really effective. So the lower you get, without obviously losing your body weight, holding your body weight up, kind of have to be really low. But obviously, like I've just explained, you don't want to lose your body weight there. You want to hold it up, but still having that to beat those defending players at the ruck. Really, really good skill level. Obviously, Levi twins, ridiculous. I think they're only like 20, 21, 22 maybe. Maddie Levi scored 1,000 tries. Her on the wing, it's almost a cheat code. Like she's a bigger girl, taller girl, but fast, man. When she gets going, you think of taller guys that take kind of longer to get going. Like the acceleration isn't really that good, but man, she gets going like that. Obviously, Charlotte Caslick has been kind of the front runner for women's sevens, especially in Australia, but worldwide really for the longest time. But you look at girls like Maddie Levi and then Tegan Levi in the middle there. When I talk about that skills like catch and passing in full flight, she's that. There's no slowing down to really stick that pass. She's throwing 20-meter passes while running. And it's that little skill like that. And it's the difference between your winger scoring or setting up a 2-on-1 is that just without delay in the pass, without delay in speed, getting the ball and passing, shifting that on. So the twins, I think they're just sisters. I don't know if they're twins. Really, really good together. I thought that Siofani, also taller girl for France, also really good. Again, like taller girls, not thinking their acceleration, but they get off the mark so quick. And again, skill level and physicality. Super impressed with physicality. Unreal. And like the Aussie women look unstoppable. They really look every single game. They go into games with that fine line between, we're confident, we know we're probably going to win this, but also not taking the opposition too lightly. So just going there and doing their job, doing what they do really well, which is spread the ball, put teams under tremendous amount of pressure. And when they get opportunities, score tries. Congrats to the Aussie women's sevens. Men's, Blitzboks, get it done again. Man, like passing on the baton of players, like big group of players, Blitzboks, been carrying that side for a long time. There was a kind of a transition period, and these new players have come through. And just Springbok teams, 15s in general, and then Springbok sevens, always find these battlers, donkey werkers, Owens that work hard, that aren't there to make the big plays, have the big steps or the long range tries, but are there to hit rucks, make tackles, and make more tackles. That's what they're there to do. Guys like Impi Visser, Oosthuizen, Zane Davids, strong, big forwards that just have engines. They're probably the hardest workers in the room. They're making all tackles, hitting rucks, like making more tackles. Their skills, really soft skills, are really good as well. They do well off kick receipts, kind of getting the ball back off kickoffs. And then you've got guys like Speckman, Sylvain Davids, Van Wyk, I thought was really well. And Geduld, obviously, guy's been there for ages. Those guys are the ones, and then bringing in the magic plays and scoring the good tries, big steps. I think the Springboks or the Blitzboks use the long kick and chase really well. And maybe a tactic that they looked at that wasn't really utilized, but it'll be interesting to see how teams adapt to that now. Both the Springboks or Blitzboks, if they're going to use it, and if teams defending them will kind of have one guy hanging, or their 9, the half, the sweeper kind of hanging a bit further back. So we'll see in Cape Town. Can Springboks go back, or Blitzboks go back to back? Dubai and then Cape Town. We'll see. I think they'll be favourites going into it. Home ground, and Cape Town is a vibe. It's a good time in Cape Town sevens. Special mention to Marcos Moneta. I think that's how you say it. The winger of Argentina. Whew. Sexy man. I wish I had his hair and his gas. Speed to burn. And probably a superstar already, but will be a superstar going forward. I don't think I'm just making an assumption here. Doesn't really have the build to shift it over into 15s. I hope he stays in 7s just forever and just balls out, because he's an absolute weapon on the wing for Argentina. And then Terio Vailava for Fiji, get out. You know what I think what he's done? He's obviously born Fiji, grown up in Fiji, and whenever you start remembering things, so let's say from like 5 years onwards, he's watched the Flying Fijian Sevens team and just from then decided, that's what I want to do. Because everything about him, not the biggest guy, twinkle toes, agility, strong, fast, can kick really well. I don't know, like skills, unreal player, really like not big at all, small, kind of scrawny or skinnier player as well, but man, strong, tough. His step is, every time a big stepper comes onto the scene, you're like, wow, no one, who's going to step like him again? And then the next person comes in. Like, sheesh, a sexy step on him by Lava. So, yeah, moving on to Cape Town Sevens. Keen. Looking forward to watching it. Moving on. Tackle height law changing in Australia. So this is on Rugby AU. Rugby Australia today confirmed that it will implement a new trial that will see the legal height of tackles in community rugby lowered to below the sternum from February. The trial is preliminarily designed to reduce the risk of head-to-head and head-to-shoulder contact between ball carriers and tacklers. And you can read the rest there. I'll put that photo up. Look, I'm all for wanting to make the game safer. I'm all for it. The biggest problem I'm having with this, and the biggest problem we're gonna see going forward with this, is honestly is the refs, is the referees. Because on the spot, on that split second, they're gonna have to make decisions. Or assistant referees as well. In community games where the crowd is right on the field, in the people's ear, there's already a lot of question marks around refs because they've got so many decisions to make already. The tackle height being one of the biggest ones. Honestly, I feel for refs in this. So it's only being rolled out in the community game. I feel for refs in this. They've at least given players or teams or clubs kind of pre-season to work on it. Man, I don't know. I just see a lot of yellow cards, a lot of red cards, more yellow cards, more red cards, more refs I hate to say, but being abused, because refs are going to implement this law. Some fans or spectators aren't going to know it, or they're not going to agree with it, which most spectators don't agree with the refs a lot of the time. And, oh, man, I feel for the refs here, to be honest. I feel for the refs. I don't make a lot of tackles anyway. So, like, I think a lot of people complain or have said a lot of things about this already online. Don't pretend like you make tackles. The forwards are the ones complaining here, and the inside centers. The rest of the team don't tackle. Come on. It was always a running joke that 10 doesn't tackle. 9s don't tackle. Wingers don't tackle. Fullbacks just go for the intercept. And 13s, I'll say the centers tackle. The centers and the forwards tackle. The rest of the back line doesn't tackle. Come on. You're kidding. So I feel for this law that's come into place, I feel for centers and I feel for the forwards and I feel for the refs. Because it's going to be a tough one. It'll be interesting to see. Let me know in the comment, what do you guys think? And I think it's only rolled out in Australia. I think so. I'm not sure. I should have probably dug a little bit deeper on that. But let me know what you think. Moving on. Beauden Barrett. All Blacks Beauden Barrett signs new long-term deal with New Zealand Rugby. Barrett has committed to playing in New Zealand for the next 4 years after re-signing with New Zealand Rugby and the Blues until the end of 2027. Barrett is currently in Japan playing for Toyota Verblitz in Japan Rugby League 1 and will be eligible for the All Blacks selection on return to New Zealand in 2024 and will return to Super Rugby Pacific in 2025. I think this is good. I think this is a good decision. Firstly, for New Zealand Rugby, obviously for Beauden Barrett, he wants to be in New Zealand playing. I think this is a great decision. There's that fine line of bringing new players in, passing old ones, like letting old ones pass on. But who's passing on that knowledge to the younger ones, to the next generation coming through? Someone has to do that. A lot of people are saying coaches have to do that, but coaches aren't on the field when shit hits the fan or when everything's going so good and you need to be brought down a notch or two. Coaches aren't on the field. Players are. Players that have been there are. Experienced players are, that know what to say in tough times or in good times. That know what to do in shitty situations, in tough situations. What do we do here? Who are we looking to? Someone who's played over 100 games for New Zealand? Yes. You look to him. It's not like that's someone you want in there. And I won't even be surprised if he doesn't always play. Like, he'll always be in the camps, in and around it, might not always play. But that, again, that experience, you can't buy that experience. You can't just bring it, like, you have to, those guys that are there, have been there, done it, and can physically still do it. I think Beauden showed now in the back end of the World Cup that he can still do it. Yes, 4 years is a long time. But man, if there's anyone that can do it, is fit and fast and skillful like him, it's him. It's a lot of people, like, man, I think it's a good decision. So many people saying, oh, it could have gone to a younger player. Same with Julian Severe going to Moana Pacifica. All I'm saying is that knowledge that gets passed on during tough games, during good games, on the field, coaches can't do that. Players need to be doing that. And that's how the younger players knows. Knowledge is power. Good signing for New Zealand Rugby. And that's it. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Is it a good signing for New Zealand Rugby? Is anyone going to beat Aussie Women's and Springbok or Blitzboks in the sevens? And does anyone in the back line accept the centers tackle? I'll see you next time. Bye.